dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew? Trying to pimp name slip back, Tony. It's your boy DJ New Kid, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
We're back on the channel with another
Kid and C original.
With another. Welcome back to the channel, man. Hey, y'all have been seeming to like crime. So we gonna do it every time. I was trying to rhyme, but it what's it boy? I kept rolling. We got top 10 final moments of real life monsters, aka quotation. Y'all, if you click the video, you'll see. Or the link is in the. You can't use certain words on YouTube anymore. So we got top 10 final moments of real life monsters. Because these are some monsters. Real monsters. Good show. Did you watch it? Who's this?
Yeah, I watched it. I don't remember
What is this? What you have in the left and right hand?
I can't remember.
You ain't watch it. She ain't no real Nickelodeon kid. You know what I'm saying? If you don't remember what you had right here.
Yeah.
And real monsters. You don't know.
Yeah.
What you have?
I said I can't remember, so I guess.
He had his eyes.
Yeah, his eyes.
You don't know.
He was what color was he? What color was he?
With that business. Before we get into it, man, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go, man. If you want to first support, all you got to do is check out down below. Also, every single time, man, we got a salute to the comment of the day.
Salute to you.
We highly appreciate it, man. Y'all keep running us up. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, lock it in with a thumbs up,
Definitely
man.
do that.
But let's see who these top 10 are, for one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on.
Let's get it.
Frankly, I wanted death for myself.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the last moments of famous killers.
Witnesses say his final words were that his death amounted to murder by the state, and that it would not bring back anyone.
For this list, we're looking at the most interesting final minutes of famous killers, whether confirmed or passed down through legend. Which of these do you find the most fascinating? Let us know in the comments below.
We ain't finished that.
Number 10. Lee Harvey Oswald. This Louisiana man made terrible history on November 22, 1963, when he shot and killed President Kennedy as the presidential motorcade was traveling through Dallas.
Any effort to explain what happened in Dallas must explain Lee Harvey Oswald. And Lee Harvey Oswald is a mystery wrapped up in an enigma, hidden behind a riddle.
Then, 2 days after the assassination, Oswald was scheduled to be escorted from police headquarters to the county jail. This event was broadcast on live television. Unfortunately, millions of viewers witnessed a second killing in real time, as nightclub owner Jack Ruby shot Oswald in the stomach. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but died less than 2 hours later. In just 2 days, the country witnessed two history-making events that would be discussed, debated, and studied for decades to come.
When Jack Ruby killed Lee Harvey Oswald, there went our ability to question the one man who pulled the trigger.
Number 9. George Apple.
Was his death probably a cover-up? And it looked like somebody, you know what I'm saying, was angry and upset that he killed the president, and so they killed him? Or did they kill him because he got caught? And they were trying to hide and cover up. So you can't really say nothing about the other dude, because you are in hindsight think, or he could have possibly had something to do with it. Who knows?
January of 1928, a Brooklyn mobster named George Apple was sentenced to die for killing a New York police lieutenant. His sentence was the electric chair at New York's infamous Sing Sing Correctional Facility. As it turns out, Apple was quite the master at gallows humor. As he was being strapped into the chair, Apple stated, quote, "Well, gentlemen, you are about to see a baked apple." Murderer though he was, in his last moments, Apple found time for a shockingly clever pun, and it made for some of the most memorable final words ever uttered. Number 8. Gary Evans. Between 1985 and 1997, Gary Evans murdered a total of 5 people. He confessed to the killings in 1998 while in police custody. 1 month after the confessions were officially verified, Evans was being transported over New York's Menands Bridge when he freed himself with a handcuff key he had hidden up his nose. He then broke out a window of the prison van and escaped onto the bridge. Evans, who refused to die from lethal injection, then took his own life by jumping off the bridge. While it's frustrating that a criminal didn't face legal punishment, this exciting escape sounds like something out of a movie.
Number he died though when he jumped. Like jumped off. Or I need to look more into his.
I probably have to look more into his, because I mean,
because
if they went down and actually found his body, then so I don't know.
Because
I don't know much about him.
If he escaped and jumped off the bridge, he might possibly could have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you never.
But yeah, I get what you was trying to say.
Number 7. Thomas J. Grasso. This man killed 2 elderly people for a pittance. The first case occurred on Christmas Eve of 1990, when he stole $130 in loose change and a TV. The second occurred the following July, when he stole a Social Security check. For his crimes, Grasso was sentenced to die at Oklahoma State Prison and requested SpaghettiOs for his last meal.
SpaghettiOs! Oh yeah!
But that is not what he received, and he was not happy. Grasso issued a statement shortly before his death, claiming, quote, "I did not get my SpaghettiOs. I got spaghetti. I want the press to know this." It's a disturbing response from a clearly unrepentant killer, regardless of whether it was meant to be funny or serious. Number 6. Jeffrey Dahmer. This serial killer is the worst of the worst, and his name has become synonymous with horrible crimes.
I think he killed so many people without being caught because of the fact that he looked like everyone else. He did what successful serial killers do. He blended.
For his actions, Dahmer was sentenced to 16 life sentences at Wisconsin's Columbia Correctional Institution. By the mid-90s, Dahmer had given up on life and reportedly told his mother he didn't care if something happened to him. And something did indeed happen to him. On November 28, 1994, Dahmer was jumped and killed by another inmate named Christopher Scarver.
To many, including Dahmer's own attorney, it comes as little surprise.
I wasn't shocked because I thought that Jeffrey Dahmer would end up this way.
According to Scarver, Dahmer didn't make a single noise as he was being attacked, which could possibly speak to his acceptance of death. Scarver later gave multiple motives for the attack, including his disgust at Dahmer's notorious crimes.
He died pretty brutally, but you can't say he didn't deserve it, but still. I think at that point it's probably a relief to him, I would think. That was no kind of life.
Number 5.
But you know how they say he kind of blended in? Mm-hmm. But did he really blend in? Because, you know, I looked into his whole thing. He really, to me, he kind of still stuck out. Because where he lived, the community he was in, unless he kind of looked like a... Because, like, he was in, like, a lower class neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Majority of people that was around were minorities. He was a white man, a single white man living alone. You know, like in his like urban area where it's black and Latinos, like, you know what I'm saying? A single black man, like.
Well, I guess kind of just. Like,
single white man.
Not as far as like. What you trying to say? Like as far as like the blending in.
Because he blended into his environment. I'm like, but did he?
Well,
really
I didn't take it as if it was because he was.
I guess he didn't rape. Well, he could still raise some flags though.
Well, I didn't take it as he blended in as far as the way that he looks like, as far as like him being white.
Yeah.
I just, as far as
not just
him like he just seemed like a normal person, just living his life, doing him, trying to make it. I don't know if he worked because you looked more into his story than I did, so I don't really know.
But you know, everybody got that one nosy neighbor in the area. I'm sure.
But if you're really smart at what you do, and he had been doing it
but
for a
he
long
always was
time.
bringing the men to his crib, though. That nosy nut. Come on,
but again, but you do always have that one nosy neighbor. But if you are in that type of probably people just doing them trying to, you know, they ain't.
But you got at least one old person in that motherfucker watch.
I mean,
he got
sometimes,
another man with him.
Sometimes,
especially back then, another man. you get what I mean?
I get what
like,
but yeah, sometimes. But in this case, I guess.
I guess because he killed a lot of
he did.
men.
He did,
and that was, and then. They said they had the apartment had such a foul odor.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no one
else smelled it.
Never come through the vents or anything.
That's another thing that alarms me. I'm like, everybody look, and then some people was like, yeah, we smelled something, but hey, motherfucker, call maintenance man.
They didn't think nothing of it. They just thought it was just it kind of becomes your norm. Like I've been smelling it all this time, so it's just like one of the things we have to deal with.
Panzram. The true number of Charles Carl Panzram's murder victims remains unknown. He personally claimed to have killed 21 people, and he was suspected of orchestrating over 100 deaths. He was sentenced to life at Leavenworth, but it was changed to a death sentence after he killed the laundry room foreman. Panzram was shockingly unrepentant to his last moment, writing in his statement, quote, "I am not in the least bit sorry." While being hanged, Panzram spat in the executioner's face and yelled, quote, "Hurry up, you Hoosier bastard. I could kill a dozen men while you're screwing around." These were his famous last words, and they solidified the remorseless Panzram in the annals of serial killer history. Number 4, Lavinia Fisher. It's extremely hard to verify the story of Lavinia Fisher, and some historians believe that she never actually killed anyone. But Lavinia and her husband John were highway robbers who purportedly killed guests inside their Charleston inn. They were eventually convicted of highway robbery and sent to prison. Lavinia was sentenced to hang and supposedly issued some of the most admittedly badass final words ever uttered. Right before her death, Lavinia yelled, quote, "If any of you have a message for the devil, tell me now, for I shall be seeing him shortly." Following this, she took her own life by jumping off the scaffold before the executioner could hang her. Wow. Number 3, James French. The story of James French is depressingly.
I'm still, I'm still shocked. I'm like, bro, like, you ain't got no care, bro. And then you take it too long, man.
Or it's kind of just like a thing, like.
It's finna happen anyway. Might as well go ahead. Speed up the process. You're making me wait too long for my death.
That's crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna take my own death.
I'm gonna take yeah.
That what you finna say?
I'm gonna take full control over. Yeah.
Yeah, like at least I can say I killed myself.
Because you know it's
y'all
kind
can't
of like
say y'all
right.
killed me.
Because it's kind of like a thing. Like they get satisfaction out of doing that to you, and you're like, no, I'm gonna give myself the satisfaction, take my own life.
And you just that crazy.
And you just.
Number 3, James French. The story of James French is depressingly fascinating. In 1958, French killed a motorist while hitchhiking and blatantly asked the jury to sentence him to death. When they gave him life instead, French wrote to the governor and requested a new trial. This didn't work, so French killed his bunkmate. That did work, and he was finally sentenced to death. Shortly before his execution, French told a reporter, quote, "If I were covering my execution, do you know what I'd say in the newspaper headline? French fries."
French fried potatoes?
Yep, French fries.
It's yet another morbid bit of gallows humor, and it makes us question if he wanted the electric chair simply to make the joke. Number 2.
I'll say this, but because he's weird as fuck.
That is weird.
He really wanted to die,
and
but he couldn't take his own life. He wanted to just commit suicide.
Yeah.
He wanted you to kill him.
But
maybe because he didn't want to have that on his soul.
I don't know. But also with you, like in court, like please sentence me to death. Didn't work. Writing letters, like I would have been like, okay, he's really desperate to be,
He should have been solitary.
He should have been. Y'all should not have never put him, because he's going to take whatever measures he needs to take to make sure that y'all,
Facts. That dude weird, bro.
That is.
John Wayne Gacy, we haven't finished the tapes. Y'all let us. I'm sure a lot of y'all probably already finished the tape. Don't drop no, like, you know what I'm saying. But just let us know what y'all thoughts and opinions, but without any spoilers.
Is that possible?
I don't know. Sometimes.
John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown himself. John Wayne Gacy is one of the most infamous serial killers in American history, owing both to the extent of his crimes and his life as a children's entertainer.
Gacy was the epitome of evil, and he was the epitome of being a great guy, which gave him the ability to be the most evil guy in the world.
His execution is also the stuff of legend, cementing him as an unapologetic devil. Gacy made a final statement through his lawyer, claiming that his execution was meaningless and that killing him would not compensate his victims.
Despite problems with one of the lethal injection tubes, witnesses say Gacy took a deep breath and died a peaceful death in 18 minutes.
When asked to give his final words in the lethal injection chamber, Gacy simply responded with a curt, quote, "Kiss my ass." There were no tears shed for this clown.
John Wayne Gacy was pronounced dead at 12:58 a.m.
He got a much easier death than any of his victims. In my opinion, he got an easier death than he deserved. But the important thing is that he paid for his crimes with his life.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Eileen Wuornos.
She's been called the Damsel of Death and the Hooker from Hell.
Between 1989 and 1990, Eileen Wuornos killed 7 men who were soliciting sex from her, and she was subsequently sentenced to death.
I'll be up in heaven while y'all rotting in hell.
The day before her execution, Wuornos gave a very famous and rambling interview to filmmaker Nick Broomfield, which some believe displayed severe mental illness. Her final words are also indicative of her mental state. Just before Wuornos was lethally injected, she claimed, quote, "Yes, I would just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back, like Independence Day with Jesus. June 6th, like the movie. Big mothership and all. I'll be back." It's totally nonsensical, and it all makes for some truly bizarre final moments.
Whatever's on the beyond, I think it's going to be more like Star Trek, beaming me up into a space vehicle, man. Then I move on, recolonize to another planet or whatever. But it's whatever's the beyond. I know it's going to be good because I didn't do anything as wrong as they said. I did the right thing.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this.
Oh, she's a little out of it, bro. For real.
Woo. But you know something I was thinking with the John guy, that would definitely be the definition since you was trying to make, you know, kind of like the argument earlier. He'll be the definition of somebody that really like blended. Like you was a clown.
Yeah.
You was an entertainer for like kids' parties.
He was
had a family.
in the neighborhood.
You had
multiple
kids.
people knew because we didn't listen to
or
part
a child.
of it.
I can't remember if it was
he had a child,
kids or
but,
just one child.
But his previous wife didn't allow because he blended in there too in Iowa. Yeah. But even when he went to Chicago or northern Chicago, whatever subdivision he was in, but he blended in there too because people knew who he was. They talked to him. He did these crimes. Nobody looked at him suspicious because
he
was just
the true definition of someone that blended in and no one would ever expect because he's, you know, seems like such a good guy. He loves kids. You know,
but I still want to listen.
We do need to finish it before making it like any, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, she a little.
Cuckoo.
I don't know.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
But with that being said, man, y'all spam us up. Let us know y'all thoughts and opinions about this one. It was wild, it was crazy, it was weird, bro.
Yeah.
Woo. 10 people that's like beyond. And think about it, it's just 10.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. But with that being said, man, again, spam us up. Let us know y'all thoughts and opinions. But as always, y'all know how it go. I do go by the name DJ Kid. This is. We are.
Go and get it. Ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me.